All right, guys, thank you so much for coming out. We are the Toronto Trading Workshop for April 21st / Gravestone Doji. And even if you waited, this was, the green 9 that was there most of the day, and at the end of the day, it wasn't. All right, let's take a look at a current chart. Let's go to like a 3-minute chart. Let's see if we can throw a trade on just to give you an idea of how to properly put stop losses in. Let's go to a zoomed in version. Let's go straight to the 3-minute chart. See what we got here. So we're on a 6 on a 3-minute chart. Let me also show you how alerts work. So we have alerts embedded in here. So if you click on the indicator, you go to add alert. Yeah, so we're not gonna have time to wait. Show that on a 1-minute chart. Would have alerted you on a 9. So here's a 3-minute chart. That's a beautiful reversal candle off a 9. So this is where you start to short. Now, the trade probably would have been a break even. Again, like I said, it's a 3-minute chart. Again, here's a combo 13 at the high. Here's a, hitting the wrong button. Here's a combo 13 at the high. Again, a nice reversal shooting star candle. Your wick is at least twice as big as the body. Now here's a 9 at the low. So if I was looking at this chart, for the last hour and a half or so, these would have been some nice trade entries, including here. But now we're in the middle of nowhere, so I can't really enter any trade right now. I gotta wait. Let's go to a 1-minute time frame. I never ever trade on that little of a scale, but this is for. Okay, so there it is, right? On a 1-minute time frame, I would probably jump in right now. I'm in. It only takes me a second to look at the stock, right? I'm in right here just for, again, for educational purposes only. I have this doji candle. Now, ideally, I want this candle coming in off the top. Here's a 1-minute candle. Again, there's a 9 at the high. It's amazing how these things happen like that quite often, more often than they probably should. Here's another 9, 1 candle off for a little pullback that higher, and this high made it to an 11, and then it stopped. But again, these are 1-minute candles. I don't know how much stock you want to put into it, right? But assuming you went long off of this, now why? I could have gone long on the prior candle or this candle, right? Now, granted, there's only a 6 on the on the counts, but I'm willing to risk it because of a 13. And a green arrow and a beautiful reversal candle keeping us above the 50-period moving average. And I'm willing to risk it. So this may be one of those minor exceptions where I would not be in 100% here. I would probably be in a quarter or half. My stop loss is obvious. It's right there. It's below the swing low. It's also below the doji candle. Now, why do I say this is one of those minor exceptions where I would double down at a lower price than my entry? Because I'm anticipating a double down at a lower price than my entry. I'm on a red 6 of 9. Again, pretend these are daily candles. I think this could be a nice looking bottom based on other things that I've taught you guys. But if I'm wrong, that's a 7, that's an 8. Guess what? A 9's coming. So this is why this trade was only at a quarter or half strength, because I want a chance to double down off the 9, okay? Because I'm anticipating a potential for a double down, and I like this reversal candle. Again, would have been nicer to have this reversal candle at the low. Also notice how this 9 to the downside, I know we went a couple of candles later, did not break the setup trend line here, but we broke the setup trend line to the upside. Wow, the market is kind of dead at the moment. Not sure why. All right, so I have an 8, and here comes a 9. So I don't mind doubling down here off the 9, but I need to see something else besides a 9. I want to see a 9 and a reversal candle. So in fact, because this is an 8 on a 1-minute chart, and the candle is about to flip in a few minutes, ooh, look at that. Let's see how this ends. I honestly would keep a mental stop loss. Normally, you never adjust your stop losses. But in this case, I'm not going to now. If this was going to be an 8 in the vicinity of my stop loss, this is one of my minor exceptions where I would have like probably lowered the stop loss, waited for the 9 and a chance to double down. But after that, my stop loss is hard-coded in there. I'm not going to mess with it. That's my entry. You see how it's just above this. What's my risk? My risk is going to be just below, right? Where's the risk line? 87.89.8. So what is that? About $6? Let's round. Let's say $6, right? So once I'm up $6, this thing is getting moved up. I don't know. I might even move it just above my entry. I might move it just below my entry, but it's definitely getting moved up, right? And if I don't like this trade at any given moment, I'm just out. Like, I'm not going to wait for the stop loss to get hit if I start not to like it. I'll take it off the table earlier. Right, so I just got a 2 trading lower than the 1. I'm actually going to set my stop loss to just below this current low. A new low takes me out of the trade. What am I losing here? My entry was 95.5. My exit is 92. So this was a 4-minute trade, and I'm going to lose about $4, $3, right? It depends how leveraged you are. If you're leveraged 100 to 1, you know, this could be a scalp. Let's see. It can still hold. It can still go back to the upside, but good timing, I guess.
So at what point do you start looking for an exit range?
Well, we're going to talk about that if we keep going up. Right? Again, right?
So right now you just focus on the stock.
Right now, I'm only focused on the stock. I'm trying to make sure, am I an idiot or is this the trade I should have made, right? I'm not even thinking about taking profit yet. Right now, my number one goal is to get the stop loss above my entry. Make sure this trade does not cost me a single penny. If we pop above this 88.02, if we go above 88.02, if we go just a little bit higher, if we go like half as big as this candle, that's it. This was a no-lose trade. Well, no, slippage is slippage, right? Like theoretically. And again, when we're talking daily, these aren't going to be, you know, $5. It's going to be 50. It's going to be 500, right? I'm just using this because I can't exactly sit here with you guys trading daily charts unless we all move into this room. But that's a nice candle. Actually, if I get another candle trading above this candle, my stop is already being moved up, right? But at this point, I didn't like this trade. I moved up my stop loss to below these lows, and it was not hit, clearly, okay? If I get one more tick higher, I'm just waiting for like $2 more, you know?
Do you not like it because it pierced the 50 moving out?
And it wasn't even the 50. It was more like, look, I have a swing low. I have a brand new lower close. And I'm back in the vicinity of the low close. My rules on double bottoms is the moment we tick lower, this is not going to hold anymore. Like the moment I get anywhere near the vicinity of this, I'm not risking it anymore. Now, normally I'll let it like sit there for a minute. But in this case, once I saw this lower close, it already made me a little nervous. I was waiting for a 9 on the low to double down, but it didn't come. I would actually double down here because remember, this was X over 2. I have a 2 trading above a 1. So I'm actually doubled down. So this is technically not my entry. I doubled down right there. I did say it before that happened. For the record. I forgot that this was X over 2. And there it is.
So now you move your stock.
Right, so technically my entry is in here. My entry is somewhere in between. That's my entry. I see a candle like this. Even off that double down, I'm already up here. I mean, I am not losing money on this trade, even with a double down in this area. Because here's my thing. I'm looking at my account. And first entry, you know what? I'm going to double the line. First entry took place just above the doji, right? What's the price? 95.5. We already established that, right? My second entry takes place right here when this 2 started trading above that 1. Okay, that's the double down. What price is that? 800 flat, right? So 800, yeah, I guess 805 cents, whatever. 8,805 cents, right? So at this point, what's my average? 97.5, right? So where's my stop loss? It's got to be above 97.5. So I'm putting it in 98. Okay, just above. Like, I want to make sure that this I'm out of this trade and my commission with commissions, and I'm covered. Like, I didn't lose anything.
So for the second entry, do you plan to limit order anticipating, or do you do market?
It's however you can do it. You can do a stop limit, but you can miss it. You can do like a stop collar. Like, again, I'm used to traditional stuff. You can do like a stop collar where, okay, enter this position above a stop and get me in between these two numbers, right? So the moment it goes above 8,800, throw in my order. I'll buy it between 8,997 and between $8,802. If it gaps over it, fine. So my trade is half the size than I expected it to be. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Okay. But now we're doubled down. We have a break-even stop loss. So this trade is basically free at this point. It's a lottery ticket. Can't lose. You may not win, but you're not going to lose. It's a free lottery ticket, right? Again, assuming you don't get gapped over your stop loss or your broker doesn't go down, like pending crazy, right? And again, we're dealing with bigger numbers here, bigger wiggle rooms. So we're on a 6. Doesn't seem to be moving. No one seems to be trading. 7. Now here's my problem. If we get to a 9, I got to consider exits, right? So I was hoping that the 9 would be like above a 4 candle, but it's not. So, and also my psychological mentality is this. When we were at the top of this 4 candle, that's $8,007, right? So that is a full $10 above my entry. Now, again, doesn't sound like much, but you can't think of it in dollars. You got to think of it in probabilities and candles. Like, if I eliminated the X scale and the Y scale, what does this look like? You have no idea what the time scale is. All you have to go by is the size of the candles. And based on the size of the candles, your average entry at the blue line, exiting perfectly at this top is a very good trade. So at this point, I'm not going to turn this very good trade at one point into a losing trade. I'm getting out break even. And my price just flipped. I'm raising this because the moment that red 2 goes below that red 1, if anything, I'm thinking short. So that's my trade. The moment another tick lower, and I'm out of this trade. And then this becomes a gain. This blue line is at 87.99.7. So that's, I know it's only $2 on a $9,000 asset, but that's not the point. The point is how to properly set your stop losses and your entries so that your trade spends very little time losing you money, quickly starts making you money, and you adjust that stop loss to make sure you're not losing money on this trade. Let's see what happens with this candle. If we tick up, great. If we go down, I got out of this trade. I didn't lose a single dollar, and I made $1 or $2. Okay, I bought a cup of coffee. Okay.
So right now we're just watching everything. Where do you actually place the trades when you're doing this?
I mean, the only place I ever traded Bitcoin is BitMax, and I traded altcoins back in Crypto days and a little bit on Poloniex in the early days. I don't want to trade this, guys. I'm used to my traditional brokers. I mean, they have like tools like you wouldn't believe, and I'm again in my mind, these are daily stock candles where a stock trades at every single penny increment, like all the time. Like, I don't have a problem here, but I mean, BitMax is probably your best option in reality. And let's see what happens with this trade, and then I'll have time. I think we still have over an hour, which is great. I'll show you my day trading strategies that I used to use back when I was trading S&P futures.
Do you have any rule of thumb, like you're using a stop loss? How far apart do you set your stop and your limit?
On a stop loss, you just get out of the market order. You want to be out. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to mess around with that. Because if you hit your stop and then you're waiting for a limit out and it keeps going against you, yeah, you don't want to mess with that. Not on a stop. You can like do a stop entry, boom, we're out.
So you never use trading stops?
Exactly. And that's why we're out. And that is why we're out right there. I could not have that's why we're out right there. And in fact, what I used to do when I traded S&P futures, because in the futures market, you can go, you can just be out, double the size of your in, and you're automatically in the short as you exit. This could have been a short play once you're out. You just sell double of what you had, and you're instantly into a short trade. But I didn't say that, so it doesn't count. But this is why you exit here, and this is why you have a stop losses. And right, and we got out of this trade. Yeah, we got out of this trade at worst, break even, maybe a tiny gain. But if you didn't have that stop loss and you, I don't know, even thought about going to the bathroom and got off of your computer before making it to the bathroom, you're sitting on a big problem right now that you don't know what to do with. You don't know whether to get out now or wait or double down at a 9. You have absolutely no idea what to do. You're totally in the dump. Yeah. Holy.
This is like.
Let's see what happens on this 9, guys. I'm already eyeing this. You see, here's the setup trend line. This might be another really good example. I'm actually looking to pick this up. I want to see. There's my 9. There's my 9. I'm gonna take a chance. Like, this is like one of those rare occasions where I'm buying the dip, and here's why. Because I'm expecting us to go back over this. I'm buying right here. Boom, we're in, right at the low, because of the setup trend line. Because I trust it. Trust the setup trend line.
Where's your stop?
That's a problem. Stop loss is a problem right now. I don't have one. And I don't know where to put one, to be honest with you.
So
I don't have a reference for a stop.
where would you get liquidated on business? Is it a percentage of equity in your account? Or
It's a little more complicated than that. Let me think about this for a minute.
Psychological number?
Below 75. So right below 75, I'd be in 74.50.
What was the basis for the decision? 75.
I'll explain in a second. $74.40. There it is. Okay, so here's my decision making. This is a very speculative buy the dip. Very. I'm trusting my 9. I'm trusting my setup trend. And I'm giving it very little room. I probably should give it a little more leeway. Maybe I should go to just under 70. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to give it a little more leeway. I'm going to go to just under 70. But the other one was also reasonable. I think this is a little more reasonable. But I'm going to raise it first chance I get. I'm trusting that we're going to reverse to at least this area. Again, I know there's a double bottom here. I'm still trusting the setup trend line.
You wouldn't use that risk line at the bottom.
No, it's a little too much, right? Because it's taking this range of an 8 and it's doubling the range. Wow, this is interesting. But I wouldn't mind putting it that tight. I wouldn't mind putting it at 74. So the logic is that round numbers tend to be useful. So this is how I was able to call that we're not going to hit the $5,000 high, and that 4,975 is as high as we're gonna get. I just picked a number somewhere below that $5,000 level. But okay, so let this one roll. Let's see how our 1 minute chart's doing. Nice. Look at that.
So at this time, will you move the stop losses higher?
Not yet. I'm gonna wait for the candle to close. So I'm gonna watch this. Yeah, again, I trusted my technicals. Trusted the mark count, trusted the setup trend line. I trusted the big fall. Now, once I get a new high, yes, I'm moving this thing up, and there's no way this risky trade is going to cost me any money. Let's give it a second. Question?
Yeah, since we didn't start the 13 count before we got to the 9, wouldn't you assume that this is like a 1 to 4 candle correction and then maybe lower?
Yeah, but it's already been way more than 4 candles, right? We did start the countdown. We had a 1 and a 2.
I'm just asking about, like, you got in like right on the 9.
Yeah.
Were you assuming I was just going to go 1 to 4?
I was going to reevaluate. I was going to reevaluate it in the vicinity of 1 to 4. Boom, done. Stop loss here. And if this gets me to the 50-day moving average, stop loss is going to go right in the middle of this candle. So let's wait. 3, 2, 1. And shorten that. Once a new candle gives me a higher tick, or it doesn't even have to give me a higher tick. I'm just waiting for the next candle. Okay, what's going on? Is Bitfinex hacked again? What's going on? Give me a trade.
Which source do you prefer for following the Bitcoin action? Is this?
I guess. Again, like I'm just a chartist. I don't really like. Bitfinex seems to be pretty liquid. Like I don't care if it's real bots or not. There's the least amount of gaps are happening on Bitfinex, so I like it for charting. Done. So I'm putting it right in the middle of this candle. It's that expanded range candle. And that's it. And I'm leaving it there. And the moment I get a new high, I'm going to raise it again. Nope, we're out. Done. But again, right, preservation of capital. All right. You're out. You tried it. You had a chance, right? I mean, this was looking like a nice bounce. I mean, could you have taken profit at over here? Sure. Maybe you should have, right? Maybe you should have taken some of your profit. But again, we're dealing with 1 minute candles. You don't really have time to think, right? If these were daily candles and you had these two giant candles into a 50-day moving average and you slowly watch this tick down and then here, you're going to be like, you know what? Let me take half of the profit on the table, raising my stop loss. This is now a great trade. Okay. And now we're back down. Guess what I'm doing right now? I'm getting ready to short. I mean, look, we're back to the lows, right? I'm not expecting it to hold the second time.
Well, it is a size.
Right, and we're price flipping. I'm getting ready to short. The moment we tick below the setup trend line, I'm short. Let me get, man, these 1 minute, this is why I don't like to trade this. I mean, this is what you got to do all day. Like, how do you get up? How do you get off the seat? The moment we go below this line, I'm short. And the moment we get a red 2 below a red 1, I'll probably double down. So I'm going in X over 2, right at this line, right below the setup trend line. I'm going to make this red. If it doesn't go there, it doesn't go there. Then I'm not in the trade. In fact, I don't want it to go there right now because it's a little overextended. Like I want it to get there slowly. Like I want it to get stuck here and give me a descending triangle. That's really what I want. In the meantime, let me get back to this daily problem. All right, I'll get rid of all the annotations. I got too much stuff open. I gotta close these articles. Sorry, ugly old goat. Closing your articles. I want to see what my headers are. All right. Where are we here? So this is the daily bitstamp. I'm gonna put this back on. Is there a button that clears all annotations?
Maybe trash can. Bottom left.
This.
The thing is a right click option.
Remove drawing tools, remove indicators, remove drawing tools. And what are drawing tools? Oh, those are the drawing tools. I don't want to remove like this permanently. Right, got it. All right, remove drawing tools. All right, cool. Okay, so I'm leaving my indicator on. Let's pick another date that isn't going to put me in my triangle. And we'll also keep an eye on the trade. By the way, there is a feature here where you can look at like multiple things at once. So I can look at my, but how do you actually decide?
You gotta click on the two pages and then just table and turn off your interval. Otherwise, when you change the time frame on one, it's gonna move to the other one. Well, you know it on, you're good.
So how can I just drag something in here or I just change the ticker?
Just type it.
Oh, I want a different time frame. Oh, can I just put like a 1 minute in here? And is this, it's not hours. Oh, different ticker, that's right. Let me change the ticker. How do you change it? Oh, it's in here, got it. GCUSD Bitfinex. Boom. Are we in the short trade? We are. More or less, right?
Well, if you want like different charts, you gotta hit that like two-page thing again, and take off the ticker. So right now you're both on Bitfinex.
No. This is Bitfinex. This is Bitstamp.
Oh,
Yeah, they're different. Yeah.
Where would you stop being this short?
Oh yeah, this short would actually be a pretty lenient stop that I would be looking to. Well, yeah, we're in. We're in. We're in this trade. It's also a red 2 below a red 1. We're under the setup trend line. We're in the trade. Red line. Where my stop loss be? Unfortunately, this is where it kind of sucks. Unfortunately, the stop loss is here. That's the unfortunate part. The good thing is that the moment I'm uncomfortable with this trade, I'm getting out. And I'm even gonna, the moment I hit a 9, I'm also gonna get out. Because I really don't like this. This just looks ugly, right? Look at this, low, low, low. Like I'm giving this a chance because I still have the 50-period moving average. This is one of those cases where my stop loss is pretty damn generous. I just saw a big slam down, a rebound to the moving average, a big slam down again, back to the prior support, double bottom. I'm expecting this to repeat. So I'm gonna give it a chance. Even if it goes back up, as long as it makes a lower low, I'm fine. Again, rare chance, but I am willing to double down here if I see a lower high and going down, okay? So again, this is one of those trades that's either an X over 2 with an ability to double down, or you're just in for X and you're giving it room to run. But then this is as lenient of a stop loss as you would possibly do. And you can lower it with the moving average, by the way. No, it's fine. Like I said, I'm expecting a potential for a lower high, okay? I'm gonna leave my stop loss here. I'm gonna leave my stop loss here and we'll see what happens. I'm still confident that this thing is gonna go down. Will it go down before stopping me out of my trade? I don't know, but I'm confident that it's gonna go down, okay? Now, if I went in X, I am not doubling down. If I went in X over 2, I am doubling down in this vicinity here, preferably off the 50-minute moving average. All right, back to this. Let's do it. Let's pick a time period later in, where do you do that again? I don't see it. Oh, there. All right, let's pick August.
short pick, like what you remember to be a nasty?
Well, I don't remember, right? I just know that.
Change the year.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if you could find out what's
I know, right? August this year, that'll be good.
Yeah, that would be nice. Well, guess what? What does this look like to you?
like today.
It looks like a triangle, right? It looks like a descending triangle. And wait, so what does this red line do?
Start playing the red line.
Just had
over there.
Now what are your replay?
Oh, so I want this to go slow, right?
You can
But you
actually
would say
choose to go by candle if you drag it all the way to the left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do it candle by candle.
And just click where at the current candle and we can go from there.
Got it. Really? That's candle by candle?
Yep, you can press the little play.
Oh, the little play button. Okay, got it. All right, so to me, this is already looking like a triangle. So we can go ahead and already draw that. Oh, there it is. See that? Look at that. Look at our trade. So guess what? Guess what now, right? So again, if you went in X over 2 and you were looking to double down here, but you didn't, you have another chance to double down on a red 2 below a red 1. So you didn't double down on the pullback, but you can double down on a breakdown. And you're just at a brand new low. So I'm very confident in this trade. And guess what? I'm now lowering my stop loss to below the prior swing high. Okay? And I'm in the trade. Oh, this is gonna be a good example. I think this is gonna be like my best video yet from like a conference. Better make sure I'm recording this.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried too.
And I do have an aggressive 13 here, but I'm also working on a bigger level countdown on a sequential. Now, once this 2 trades below this 1, guess what? I'm doubling down. And almost at the same price that I got in at. This is actually the best case scenario because guess what? We price flip for 2 candles. This opens me up for a potential 9 instead of this being like a 6, 7, 8, and already a 9, right? So I'm looking forward to this. All I'm waiting is for one lower tick. One lower tick here. Now, in reality, you don't want to be sitting there all day, every 20 minutes, doing multiple long trades and multiple short trades. You're getting into this niche of micro trading, and while it works for some people, I didn't like it. Like, it's fun to do it with, like, you know, like in the room like this, but in reality, I hated that kind of trading. And especially if you're in like chat groups, it's like some leaders like rapid fires, like buy on this, like using 1 minute candles, buy, like 2 minutes later, no, sell, you know, buy. This is kind of what I'm doing right now, but here it's educational. It's so again, I'm waiting for one lower tick, and it's a double down, right? So I'll even draw a second line in. Moment you touch this line, you're in double. So your actual trade is about the same price. It's like, you know, dollar difference here. So it's a 50-cent lowering. Okay, I'm back here. Oh, I moved it, so everything kind of flipped because I wasn't able to draw. Anyway, let's draw that triangle. Boom, we're double down. I'm also terrible at multitasking. So you draw the best fit triangle. And the top line is fairly easy. In fact, I'm actually going to do it from up here, that's the breakdown level. So I'm watching this triangle, and I guess this is my best fit down at the bottom. Now, obviously, this triangle has to be red because it's bearish. I don't know, I guess I'm OCD with that. All right, next candle. That didn't do anything.
Oh, you know, press the other one.
Oh, did I do something?
I think the
Not to
play
the right,
just
to the-
goes really slow, but if you press the other one, it draws it immediately. Yeah, if you pause that, press the other.
This one.
Yeah.
Oh, boom. Okay. Sorry, I should have said something. Okay, so it doesn't matter actually. Like right here, you're in. You're in the short trade. This is clearly a break of your line. And this candle proved that you have a line here, okay? So in the middle of this candle, not at the end of this candle, like in the middle of this candle you're in. I would have said that like, hey, next candle, well, because also look, this is your lowest close in God knows how many, like in a year, right here, okay? This is your lowest close right here. So the moment you start trading below that close, you have a short trade. Where's your stop loss? Your stop loss, I really don't want to draw on this, but I guess I could. I would put my stop loss right here, and I would lower it fairly quickly. Where's your target? Obviously, you have a setup trend line, which at the time, I certainly wasn't looking at it. Your 50-day moving average is way above. You're here, and you had this 9 back here, gave you a 1 to 4 candle bounce and lower. You're working on a countdown, a 9 of 13. You got so much going for you. Once it goes below the setup trend line, you're on a 4 of 9 to the downside. And your target from a triangle is, this is a what price? 550, 460, that's $90. So you are looking for a $90 target down, which I am going to draw. That's your target.
370.
Price range. Well, we're about to find out. Oh, damn. I'm going to push it back here a little. How's our trade doing? It's kind of stuck, isn't it? 90 down. There it is. 20% move. So let's see what we got here. We're going to take it candle by candle. Let's see the next candle. Nice. Okay. So you're absolutely lowering your stop loss to below your entry point. Okay. I would put it right above that candle. I would even consider it putting it right above the former, like I'm almost ready to lower it, right? I would even lower it right into that candle. Because remember, that's our entry. So from 460, I'm already setting this to, actually I'll set it just below 50 there. I would set it to just about 451, right? Your short entry is up 460. So you're up $10 on a $460 asset. Let's see the next candle. And I am eyeing this as well. Oh, beautiful. We're almost at target, aren't we? We're almost at target. Wait, I thought I said I was going to do August, not September. We're in September. Interesting. I thought I put August.
I guess maybe it's the end of August, so we just kind of starting September.
No, but these are dailies. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
It was a random time period, obviously. Okay, all right, guys. So now what do we do? So, you have a 13. Also, while we were thinking about it, so here's what I'm going to do here. Again, not much time to think on 1 minute candles, right? Another reason why it's dangerous to trade these suckers. I'm going to, again, while I was thinking, in reality though, I would have taken half my profit somewhere in this vicinity. Half the profit is already gone off this trade, right? So remember, we doubled down. So we entered X. I got a 9. I'm expecting a reversal. I don't know how low this 9 is going to go. So somewhere in the middle of this candle, I'm happy with my gains. So I'm taking half the trade off the table. I still have half the trade in there. And I'm just going to let that run. I'm just going to lower my stop loss. Hey, where'd my stop loss go? Oh, it's still up there. Oh yeah, no, I would have lowered it. I would have lowered my stop loss to break even on this 9 candle, and I would have set take off, drop the whole trade at the stop loss just below my break even, even though my break even would have been a little bit higher than this because it was a double down. I would have taken half my profit somewhere in the middle of this candle. Again, assume these are daily candles. It's a 913 on the same day, but look, this is not the kind of candle that scares me. This is not a reversal candle for me. If I zoom out, what do we got? Like, we're getting close to this double bottom here. I'm still, like, I don't mind. I'm letting the other half of my trade run. I'll let it run, you know, to zero, though I hope not. But I'm letting half that trade run. Look, we got a 9. We already made a lower low. We got a red 2, a below a red 1. Guess what I'm doing? I'm back in the trade with the other half. Yeah, I'm back on the, look, this 9 clearly did not reverse the price. I'm back in. That half that I took off the table is back in here. And my stop loss is over here. I'm expecting lower lows. I mean, we just made a new lower low, lower close. It's a little risky, but that's fine. I already made good money on this trade. That second half is back in because now I'm expecting it to go lower. We just made a lower low. You don't have to do that, but I'm playing with house money and I'm riding the momentum down. I don't mind. I have a very tight stop loss on the entire trade. See, keep that in mind, guys. My stop loss is on the entire trade. My stop loss goes like here. I've now doubled down, so it's like basically on that second half, I'm only going to lose a tiny bit. On that first trade, I just made a lot. So it's like I'm out on the second half over here, but now I'm expecting it to go lower. That's my stop loss. I doubled down on the trade. I'll get another one of these red lines. I doubled down as of right here. Wait, where's my new line? I think that's my new line. Right, this is my new line. Wait, Control Z.
So 9 and 13 didn't scare you at all based on the price action?
It did. That's why I took half the trade off the table.
Right, okay.
Right? But because it didn't muster any momentum to the upside, and this candle itself was a big down candle, right? There was no reversal candle, right? This 2 ended up being a hammer, but at the time, it started trading lower than this 9. So before this closed as a reversal candle, it was a candle that indicated we're going lower. Now, so I was already in for the second half. So I don't know which one of these came out second. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm doubled down as of here. My stop loss on the entire trade is here. And remember, my first entry was all the way up there on the short. So we're looking good now. Now, granted, when this 2 completed, it scared me a little bit, which is why my stop loss is so tight. Because the moment we go above the hammer, all right, fine. That's fine. I exited. Then my whole trade is exited, right? I lose a tiny bit on that second half of my short, but the first half is the whole thing. Okay? And now I'm looking really good, and I can't wait to set the stop loss below the second entry. Not yet, though. Not yet. A little lower.
It's coming.
There it is. I'm going to wait for the candle to end. 30 seconds.
You should wait for the close before you move.
I wait for the close before I move the stop. Like, I wait for the close.
So on a daily candle chart, what is the optimal time of day to trade or to put in your stop losses and stuff like that?
It's a 24-hour market. I don't know. Oh, man, I lost the chart replay mode. Shit. What happened? I guess I waited too long.
It's back.
Oh, it's back. Excellent. We're going to get back to that guy. Right, so my candle ended. What's going on here? There it is. I'm moving the stop loss to below break even on the second trade, right above that 5 candle. If this gets to another 9, again, I'm going to take half my profit off the table. The moment I see a 9, if that 9 shows me any sign of reversal, I'm out of the trade.
What kind of orders are you using? These are all market executions.
You know what? It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. I'm just hoping you properly do this, like as far as execution goes. Again, there's a reason why I don't trade Bitcoin. Like it's, I don't want to deal with that stuff. I'm such an old school trader. I'm so used to my professional platforms. I know my limit orders, my stop orders, my stop limit. One cancels other. I can set one that it's like if gold hits 1400, sell all my S&P 500. You know, like I'm used to such like advanced ordering system that like I would be like going nuts with the other one. Right. So hey, so we got a 9. We got a stop loss. So this is where I pinch the trade. I lower my stop loss to there, and because it's a 9, I'm gonna grab another purple line. It's another 913. This time it's 913 combo.
We have an intersection above the 8. Is that
Yeah, that's fine. Intersection can be 8 or 9. So I have another line. I'm gonna take half my profit again. It's a 9. I don't like it, right? The moment it ticks me lower, I'm out with half my profit, and the moment it hits this blue line, I'm out with the whole profit. So I'm done. We're out of this trade, guys.
Doesn't the intersection imply that we're kind of slowing down?
Yeah. And I'm done. I'm out of this trade. This was a very good trade, even on a 1-minute chart. I'm out, and guess what? If this 9 leads me to a 1 to 4 candle correction, starts to go down, I can short again. Would I risk trading it to the upside right now? Not really, because it's not. If this 9 gave me a giant wick to the downside, maybe. But I'm still like bearish in this market right here. And we're just looking at a 1-minute chart. I haven't had the time to look at a higher level time frame and see what the hell's going on there. Right? Like I'm surprised we haven't been alerted on our 3-minute alert scale thing. But anyway, let's get back to the. Okay, we're done with this. Let's pause live trading for a minute. Look, this stuff is intense. I'm not even dealing with real money. I'm on 7. Cool. So we'll get an alert. So you guys, this all be interrupted then. Like even paper trading gets intense. I mean, do this and pretend like it's real money in your head, and you'll get the hang of it. I don't recommend 1-minute candles though, but I think these were pretty good examples of, and I think fast and 1-minute candles, like even I had problems, like, you know, and don't forget, you have to execute too.
I was actually following this here at midnight. I stopped at the earlier 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You made some money.
In real life?
Yeah, I was playing hard contracts.
Oh,
Yeah, he traded
that's
it.
smart.
He traded what we were doing on the screen. Oh man.
Did you make enough to cover the-
The SEC is going to show up in Canada and like arrest me. So now what do we do? So if you had lowered your stop loss to just above the high of that 6 candle, you would already be stopped out, which is okay because it's a profitable trade. The point is not to trade here, not to trade there, not to trade here, but you enter your trade here, right? Because the triangle thing is more important to me than this indicator. The indicator is great, but my candles and my chart patterns are just more important. Could you have taken a stab at this 3 lower than this 2? Sure. And then you have to add to your position on this 4. Okay? But I did not lower my stop, so we're still in the short trade. I would lower my stop now. At this point, I'm not risking this trade. The moment we go back above that 7 candle, I'm done with this trade. Too bad I didn't take my profit here. But you're so close. You are so close to your target. It's not a bad idea to take some profit here. But no one's lucky to buy the very low. If you could, this is definitely reasonable. I didn't say it, so I didn't do it. Let's go next candle. Good. Now I'm waiting for a 9. Next day, so I'm going to grab my purple line. That seems to be what I'm using for profit taking. And it's hard because like you can change your mind in the middle of the day. I got to project into the next day, right? And this is my problem with these things. Like I don't really like it, like because if the first half of the day is happening in a certain way, I want to be able to adjust this, right? And I can't go through every possible scenario right now with you guys. So I got to take a guess. So I would say if I get on the next candle, and now we're dealing with the double bottom here. So I'm going to go a little bit lower. If next candle hits this purple line, I'm out for at least half the trade. Okay? Let's see what happens. Or blue line, I'm out the entire trade. Nothing. All right. I'm going to lower this. I want to get out of this. I want to get out of this with half my trade with a profit, right? So this is going to be a little strange, but I'm going to leave my stop loss here. I'm going to get another purple line, and I'm going to add one right there. I'm basically saying I want to take half my trade off the table. Ideally, I would like to take my trade lower than this 9, but I'll take it higher than this 9. Whichever purple line gets hit first, half my profit is off the table. Okay?
If you're going to do that, why don't you just decide to take half off now instead of waiting for it to hit the line?
You could.
Oh, okay, so they okay.
You could. Because again, you have 24 hours in that candle.
Right.
That's exactly what I want to do. But I'm waiting for next candle because I'm curious. All right? But you're right. I mean, I'm almost right there, right? So maybe I'll lower a little bit. I'll get a little greedy. Let's go. No, it closed. It closed at $400. You're right. I would have taken profit near the end of the day. But let's see which line gets hit, just for the hell of it, right? As gamblers, either one of those lines, I'm taking half my profit. But you're right. I would take half my profit right off this 9. I'm like, you know what? It's a doji. We had a low. We're trending up. I'm gonna take half my profit. I would even consider my whole profit. But I'll take at least half the profit. I can always take another half my profit an hour later. You know, you have options. There you go, right? So I guarantee you I would have taken the other half my profit before it hit the blue line. I promise you that, right? Ironically, look, the first half of the profit could have done first, right? The wick on the bottom broke to the bottom. So very easily, we could have gone down, okay? So I'm assuming we went down here before we went up there. I have to assume that. I can go to a low-level time frame and find out, right? But let's assume that that happened. To be honest with you, I would have taken my other half at the other purple line. I would have taken them all, right? Now, if it happened the other way, I wouldn't, right? If half my profit would have been taken at the top line first, I would not have taken the second half of my profit at the bottom line. If this candle was in reverse, I would have let the second half ride because the bottom half of the line would have been taken out first, I would not have risked going above the doji in a short position after a 9. Okay, so this trade would have been out. I didn't anticipate this candle, right? But this trade would have been out with a pretty damn good profit. I didn't catch the low, but I got a perfect entry right here off the triangle and here. So now I have no trade in this. Let's see what happened next. But I will have a new trade the moment we go below this purple line again. I'll adjust it, right? So I'm going to grab this purple line. I'm going to change it to a red. I'm going to throw it here, and I'm waiting for two things. A break of this line, and based on sequential, a red 2 or below red 1 or something like that. So I don't want to see a giant red candle here, right? But I might take half the trade or a quarter of the trade if it breaks this line no matter what. But if we get a tight candle here and another tight candle after it, and then I'm perfectly breaking this line with a red 2 below a red 3 and breaking the line at the same time, I'm in for X. Yeah.
Would you consider the 9 a doji and start going long on the 1?
No, because like not really, because I didn't like it because it was a doji, but it was 3 candles away from the low. If this doji took place down here, then yeah, I would have been a lot more interested in going long on the 1, but not right. But not after it's already been going up for like 3 days, generally, right? I mean, I consider myself lucky that the 9 was this low, relatively speaking. I mean, this 8 could have been up here, and this 9 could have been could have been a flip to a 1 already, right? I just I don't consider this is not the kind of 9. Like this is not the bottom. That was the bottom. So because that's the bottom, my risk reward is shitty, right?
Perfected versus non-perfected there.
That's irrelevant to me. Perfected would have been nicer, right? Again, but if this 9 was at the lows, it would have been perfected, right? And I would have had an entry above the doji with a stop loss below the doji. Now my entry is here, my stop loss is down there. Not ideal. Okay, needed this doji way lower. Okay, so let's see what happens. I want to see a couple of tight candles, but even if they're not, if the next candle is catastrophic, I'm short as of this line. On the flip side, nah, I don't think there's going to be any bullish trades there. All right, let's see what happens next. I'm very interested now. All right, good. Coming up on a 13, but again, like I'm not really big on those. Yeah, let's see next candle. Perfect. If the next candle is trading below this candle, I'm in for X because it's going to be lower than this and it's breaking this line. So at this line, I'm in for my whole trade. Like I'm not even doing half and doubling down. I'm in for all of it. Let's see. Boom. There it is. All right. Right, because I'm not expecting this to hold, and I got a perfect red trading below a red 1. So I'm in right at the red line, maybe even a smidge higher, like that. Okay, I'm in on that short. Like I know I got a couple of 13s here, but you know what? I'm treating the setup as more important. Oh wait, did I say we were gonna short off of this or no? No, forget it. Again, this is a short. I mean, it's obvious. The same pattern all over again. This is another short on our live 1 minute chart. But now I'm more curious in this. Now, also keep in mind, we just reached our target. So you got to be real careful here, right? So we're in here. My stop loss is already going to be tight. By the time this day ends, I'm already, you know what? I'm already setting a break-even stop loss for multiple reasons. Normally, I never do that. I never set a stop loss in the middle of my entry candle. But I got an exception here. First of all, the target of the triangle has just been reached, okay? And on top of that, over here I have a double 13, even though at the time I wouldn't have known, right? But I'm gonna take this double 13 seriously. I'm still leaning bearish because of the setup and the breakout of the double bottom. And but I am gonna set a break-even stop loss already because I have reasons to think that there is a need for a bounce. Look how perfectly it started to bounce off the target.
Why would you get confident that you're really expecting a bounce?
Because I'm a gambler.
Just let it ride.
I'm letting it ride. Look, again, it's a free lottery ticket. You know? Would you sell a free lottery ticket for $1, or are you gonna just wait for the lottery? Right. Like if somebody gave you, it's the same thing, right? Somebody gives you a free lottery ticket. You can turn around and sell it for $1. It's market value. Or you can just hold it. Free ticket. Just hold it. If you want to take half off the table, that's fine. Because remember, we won in X. You can take a quarter off if you like. Nothing wrong there.
You just wait your stop losses in all the time. And when do you ever take a better setup to take?
Well, we did, right? Remember the purple lines that we did around this 9? Remember, we got in here. We took all of our profit around the 9, right? When you have probabilistic entries, your trades are immediately in the money. And at that point, I'm not saying you're waiting for a home run, but you're waiting for something. You're giving your trade a chance to develop. Okay? You take your profit when something scares you. I like taking my profit when something scares me. Until then, I assume it's going to keep going in my direction. All right? So, again, you got a bit of a doji at the low, but I'm on a 3. I would lower the stop loss to here, to the top of the doji. Again, if you wanted to take a quarter off the table or half off the table, that's perfectly fine. Let's go next candle. And there it is, right? So it wasn't a great trade. It got you out. If you took a quarter or half off, you did better. If you didn't, you still made some. Remember, these are daily candles, right? So the entry was 395. The stop loss, 388. But percentage-wise, that's something. That's about what, $7 on 400. But that's the life of a trader. Let's see what happens next. I don't do anything here going forward. Nothing. And again, I'll short. Same reason. I'm short right off of this. I know it's a 6, and I know we're getting close to a 9, but you know what? My chart pattern trumps that, okay? Maybe I moved the stop loss. Maybe I was too conservative with my stop loss. That's okay, all right? I'm going to hit another one of these moves because this was a very profitable trade, right? Getting in at 460, getting out at 400. $60 on 460, that's a good percentage. That's a good 15% in about 5 days. I'm short below this red line. Oh, wow, look at this. Bitcoin's still pretty good. I mean, these are 1-minute candles, not that big. Not that big a drop. And there it is, right? Again, the point is I'm entering my trades where they're immediately making me money. But that's my style of trading, right? Other people, have other stuff. But for me, that's what's important. Entering that trade so that it's immediately making me money. Like this. Where's my stop loss? Well, for the time being, it's going above the candle. Oops, hit the bar too fast. For the time being, it's right above the candle. The moment the next candle goes lower than this candle, my stop loss is going right in the middle of this candle. Let's see what happens next. Boom. This is how if the next candle is going to be a 9, I'm exiting on the next candle with a profit. Okay. Now my stop loss is going right into smack in the middle of this candle. Right in the middle of this candle is my stop loss.
We did close below the risk line. What's that saying to?
Not much. Just says that it's just more bearish. But the important thing is the next candle is a 9 buy. Unless it closes above the 5, which is not going to happen. Exactly. I probably should have said but again, remember how I said next candle I'm getting out? Somewhere on this candle I would have got out. Would I have gotten out here? Probably not. Would I have gotten out somewhere in the middle of this candle? Probably. Would I have waited for it to go all the way down and got out on the way up? Yes. Okay, so my best guess of where I would have gotten out of this trade is somewhere in this area. But not on the way down, on the way back up.
Would you be looking at the hourly to kind of track that?
Yeah, I would absolutely zoom into lower level time frames and see if I saw a big drop on a 10-minute time frame and I saw a doji on a 10-minute time frame, I'd be out the moment we go back up, right? So it's possible I could have timed a much better entry if I saw something down here. But if I saw a reversal somewhere here on a smaller level time frame, I might have gotten out up there, right? You don't know. This is a long day, okay? But somewhere on this candle, I'm taking my profit. Am I going to take 100% of my profit here? Definitely not on the first shot. Is it possible I would be completely out of my trade by the time this day ended? Very possible. But it would have been a multiple exit. Like my first exit would have probably been X over 2. My second exit would have probably been X over 4, leaving a quarter of the position in there. And because of the way this closed, I'm probably out of this trade by end of day. So I'm done. And this was a pretty damn good trade in 3 days. Yes. I don't want to keep going anymore because I want a really good roll. I want to stop like right here because I don't want to deal with the next candle.